Hello and welcome to this EPS Inspires Update. I'm Craig Birnbach. Frontier Middle School's Mr. Solberg knows that because of the coronavirus, he can't take his students on field trips where they can experience some real hands-on learning. So the 6th grade science and CTE teacher decided if he can't bring his students onto a field trip, he'd bring the field trip to them. And all they'd need to bring is their curiosity and a cell phone. Frontier Middle School's Matthew Solberg knows that because of the coronavirus, he can't bring students into his classroom.
I was trying to think of creative ideas to get my students outdoors, interacting with nature.
Mr. Solberg teaches a natural resources and wildlife conservation class. So of course, his great idea was born while he was on a walk in nature, right? Well, not quite.
After going to a restaurant and scanning a QR code, I thought, why can't I do this?
That's right, bringing home a takeout dinner helped make Mr. Solberg realize that if he can't bring students into his classroom, he'd bring the classroom to them. And what a beautiful classroom it is.
I made QR codes on a free trial for 2 weeks. I made QR codes, and this links students to a Google Doc that I can change at any point. And I'm putting them outside by some different areas in nature. These are some beautiful Douglas fir trees.
Mr. Solberg has put up these QR codes all around Frontier Middle School. Now all his students need to do is use their cell phone camera and they'll be connected to an instant science lesson.
I tried to go off students' interests, so I heard that some of my students were interested in geology, and I have very little experience in geology, so when I went hiking, I looked for some interesting rocks. I reached out to some friends, and I've included some rocks in this activity just to engage those kids.
But it's not just his students that he's engaging. Anyone can scan the QR codes and enter Solberg's virtual classroom.
I did not anticipate doing an activity that I could reach out to the greater community and involve the community in learning more about nature here in Vancouver. But I'm excited too.
But this is a special experience for Solberg students because for them it's not just a science lesson, it's a scavenger hunt.
On some of these QR codes there are secret codes, and students in my class can provide those codes to me, and I will give them a certificate at the end of this activity.
Mr. Solberg plans on changing up his outdoor classroom by swapping out and adding QR codes to natural items outside of Frontier Middle School. For Evergreen Public Schools, I'm Craig Birnbach.